forget to okay, I just forget to record the session. Now we'll start. Okay, right? See, you just look at the circuit shown in the figure. The flux linking with each turn of the circuit proportional to the current. Generally, your flux is proportional to the number of turns. Your lambda, your flux linkage is equal to n into phi, number of turns into flux. Okay. And here you just observe the current flowing through the circuit. Okay. The current flowing through the circuit and linking, and the flux is, because of this current flowing through the circuit, flux is developed in this coil itself. Okay, so that means current in the same circuit, flux produced in the same circuit. This is the self flux. Okay, the flux produced due to current flowing in the coil itself. This is called the self flux or self-induced EMF. Because of that self-inductance, we can call always the beginning of okay, in the beginning of inductance also I already mentioned that inductance L is equal to n pi by I, flux divided by the current. The flux is n phi here because for that coil n number of turns, so L is equal to phi by I, like that n such terms, so n pi by I. That n pi is nothing but flux linkages can be indicated with lambda, lambda by I. The units are Henry. The inductance is nothing but self-inductance. Okay, the flux is the self-flux. Okay, and the inductance is self-inductance. This L is. Next, what is a mutual inductance? Mutual inductance means you should have two coils side by side. Consider that two different circuits with self-inductances L1 and L2 are kept close to each other. Let L1, let N1 and N2 be the number of turns for the two circuits, and let I1 and I2 be the currents through the two circuits. You just observe the figure. You have the coils, two coils, coil number 1 and coil number 2. Okay, the coil number 1. The coil number 1, what happened? The current flowing through this coil 1, so the inductance produced, flux produced, first of all, will come in this way. First of all, current flowing through the coil 1. For that, flux produced in the coil 1 itself is phi 11. And the inductance developed in the coil 1 is L1. So your L1 is equal to n pi by I. N pi 11 by I1. N pi by I is here flux linkage in the coil 1 itself is phi 11. And current through coil 1 is I1. So it is n phi 11 by I1. Similarly, if you look at the coil 2, the current I2 is flowing through the coil 2. So that flux produced in the coil 2 itself is phi 22. Okay. So your inductance L2 is N2, number of turns. You can call it as N2. So N2 into phi 22 by I2. That's fine. What about this mutual inductance? Mutual inductance means we can define in this way. Pi 12 flux. Phi 12 flux means the entire flux produced in the coil not only linked in the coil 1 itself. Some of the flux it will link your coil 2, that is phi 12 from 1 to 2. So similarly phi 21. So whatever the current flowing through your coil 2, in that some portion of the flux is linked from coil 2 to coil 1, that is phi 21. Majority of the portion is linked, is connected, is flowing through, is generated in the coil 2. In that some portion is linked to your coil 1, which is phi 21. Okay, that is your mutual inductance. Mutual inductance means current in the coil 1 and flux in the coil 2, that is linked to the another coil. So you just see here flux linkages of circuit 1 to the current in the circuit 2. Otherwise sorry, you can define as flux linkages of circuit 2 or current in the circuit 1. You can define as M12 and M21. These two happen to be the same, M12 and M21. Flux linkages from coil 1 to coil 2 and flux linkages from coil 2 to coil 1. Both are same. That means your M12 is equal to M21. Your M12 is nothing but N1 into pi21 by I2. Your M21 is N2 into pi12 by I1. These two magnitudes are same. So your M12 is equal to M21 is equal to M. What is your coefficient of coupling between two circuits? When the two magnetic circuits kept closer to each other intersects with each other magnetically through the flux linkages in the circuit due to the current in the other circuits, then these circuits are called magnetically coupled circuits. What do you mean by magnetically coupled circuits? Your transformer is the best example of a magnetically coupled circuits, electrically isolated and magnetically coupled circuits. What do you mean by magnetically coupling? That means when two magnetic circuits kept closer to each other interacts with each other magnetically through the flux linkages in the circuit due to current in the other circuits. Okay, they coupled magnetically. They coupled magnetically means magnetically through the flux linkages of the circuits due to current in the other circuits. That's what we have seen. Okay, that's what we have seen. Your N1 pi21 by I2 or N2 pi12 by I1. These are the magnetically coupled circuits. Okay, so what is your self-inductance? The current in the same circuit, flux in the same circuit. N1 pi11 by I1, which is lambda 11 by I1. In the circuit 2 is, that means in the coil 2 is N2 pi22 by I2, which is equal to lambda 22 by I2. The flux linking with the circuit 2 due to current 1 in the circuit 1 is pi12. The flux is actually the part of the total flux produced by current I1 in the circuit 1. That means the total flux that is produced in the circuit 1 is not linked in circuit 1. Some portion is connected to circuit 2, that is pi12 from 1 to 2. So that means out of flux 1, 0.8 flux may link in the circuit 1 itself, maybe 0.2 flux it may link to circuit 2. So that is pi12. The factor of K1 is how much fraction of flux linked to 2 from 1. Similarly, for the flux pi21, which is a part of flux pi22, can be written as your pi21 is equal to K2 into pi22. That means flux linkages from coil 2 to 1. Flux linkages from coil 2 to 1, which is phi21 is equal to K2 into phi22. Rewriting this expression, we are having mutual inductance relation. Your M12 is equal to N1 into pi21 by I2, which is equal to N1 into what is your pi21? Just now we have seen, which is K2 into pi22. Okay, so by I2 is same. So M21 is equal to N2 into pi12 by I1, which is equal to N2 into K1 into pi11 by I1. So here your M12 is equal to M21, which is equal to M, which is nothing but M12 into M21, which is equal to N1 into K2 pi22 by I2 into N2 into K1 pi11 by I1. If you multiply M1 into M21 is, which is nothing but M square, because your M12 and M21 both are same. M12 and M21, which is equal to M. So M into M square. So if you write the expression, if you simplify it, it is K1 into K2. This is your L1 and this is your L2. So you can split it as K1 into K2 into L1 into L2. Your M is equal to root K1 into K2 into root L1 L2. Where root K1 into K2 we can call as K, which is called as coefficient of coupling. So finally you can define your M is equal to K into root L1 L2. If you define your K is equal to M by root L1 L2, coefficient of coupling is always the ratio of mutual inductance by product of square root of self inductances. K is equal to M by root L1 L2. Always remember that your coefficient of coupling value is less than 1. Okay, always your coefficient of coupling value is less than 1. In the ideal case, K is equal to 1. The ideal case, K is equal to 1. What do you mean by K is equal to 1? Highly coupled. These two magnetically coupled circuits are highly coupled, 100% coupling. 0.9, 90% coupled. 0.8, 80% coupled. K is equal to 0. No coupling between them. No coupling between two magnetically coupled circuits. K is equal to 0.2, just 20% coupling. Like that. Always your K value is less than or equal to 1. 1 is only ideal case. Generally, practically it is not possible. You always remember that K is equal to 1 is highly ideal case. In general, it is less than 1. Less than or equal to 1. Equal to 1 is only in the ideal case. Right. Like that, if the two magnetically coupled circuits are placed side by side, whether they are in aiding position or in opposing position, if these two coils are in aiding position, the inductance, the equivalent inductance is L1 plus L2 plus 2M. If it is in opposing position, then it is L1 plus L2 minus 2M. Like that for parallel, if they are connected in parallel, okay, then L1 into L2 minus M square by L1 into L1 plus L2 minus 2M. For parallel addition, for parallel subtraction, L1 into L2 minus M square by L1 plus L2 plus 2M. This is the concept related to your magnetically coupled circuits. We'll take the simple problem. If a coil of 800 microhenry is magnetically coupled to another coil of 200 microhenry, the coefficient of coupling between two coils is 0.05, then calculate inductance of two coils. That means we have to calculate what is L1 and what is L2. Okay. Okay, if they are series aiding, means L is equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M. What is L1? Coil 1 is 800 microhenry. What is coil 2? 200 microhenry. What is 2M? Your M is equal to K into root L1 L2, which is equal to 20 microhenry. So your L is equal to 1040 microhenry. Series opposing means L1 plus L2 minus 2M. This is 800 microhenry and this is 200 microhenry. Finally, it is 960 microhenry. For parallel, the formula is there, L1 into L2 minus M square, and for parallel opposing, the formula is there. So like that, we can calculate. Okay, this is a simple formula. Already we are having the formulas for the inductance, the combination of inductance when they are series aiding and for series opposing. Okay, this is about self inductance and mutual inductance, the magnetically coupled circuits. Now we'll go to the our topic now. Right, yesterday we have seen the two-port networks. Okay, ABCD parameters is not there in our syllabus. So unsymmetrical T-type network, pi-type network, symmetrical and unsymmetrical. What do you mean by symmetrical? In the lattice structure, unsymmetrical lattice structure. Okay, so you just go through this one. So symmetrical means your Z11 is equal to Z22, your Y11 is equal to Y22. For reciprocal, Z12 is equal to Z21, your Y12 is equal to Y21. The hybrid parameter symmetrical means H11 into H22 minus H21 into H12 is equal to 1. The reciprocal network means your H12 is equal to minus H21. So that means these are proven one. These are proven things for the symmetrical networks. These are the proven things for the reciprocal networks. So that means if the problem may be like this. The particular given two-port network, is it reciprocal network or not? Is my voice audible? Is my voice audible? Anybody? 64L or rule number 9. Is my voice audible? Audible. Right. Okay. they have given one network and they will ask whether the given particular network, okay, whether the given particular network is a reciprocal network or not, is the symmetrical network or not, okay, reciprocal network or not, symmetrical network or not. If you want to identify, you just follow, these are the proven things. That particular network, whether Z11 is equal to Z22, then symmetrical network, Y11 is equal to Y22, symmetrical network, your Z12 is equal to Z21, reciprocal network. So like that. Okay. So your cascaded network, equivalent networks, the combination. So generally we will solve problems. Okay, this is what we have discussed. Find Z and Y and ABCD. ABCD parameters is not there in our syllabus. Okay, find Z and Y parameters for this type of network. So just now we have seen magnetically coupled circuits. Your transformer is the best example for the magnetically coupled circuits you might have seen in your basic electrical engineering. The transformer, you are having n by 1 turns or 1 by n turns. Okay, number of turns are different from primary to secondary. In order to make it from step up transformer or step down transformer, n by 1 it may be a step down transformer, 1 by n it is a step up transformer. Okay, like that. For that type of networks, if you want to find out Z1, Z parameters, Y parameters, so you can write the equation. Your V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. Your V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. So like that we can develop and we can write the equation for the equivalent resistances. Okay. These are the V1, V2 matrix, I1, I2 matrix we have seen. We can find out Y parameters from Z parameters by making inverse. That's what this one. Z parameters to Y parameters, Y parameters to Z parameters. So your Z matrix is Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22. Your Y matrix is Y11, Y12, Y21 and Y22. You just make inverse and you will get that. Find B and D parameter. Of course, transmission parameters, ABCD parameters are not there. We'll see another, these are transient related problems. Of course, at the end of the day, we can solve some more problems. These are the assignment problems he mentioned in the tutorial, but the assignment questions are not there with us. But let me take some problems and we will solve in the coming classes. But okay, we'll solve one or two problems in the two-port networks. These are the problems based upon the transients. Okay. Okay, this is the problem given like this. We need to find out Z parameters or Y parameters. Okay. So in this particular problem, right, you know how to calculate Z parameters, means how to calculate Z11 is equal to V1 by I1. Okay, V or E both are same. Sometimes it is induced EMF or we can call as voltage. Or of course, this induced EMF and voltage units are volts only. Z11 is equal to E1 by I1 or V1 by I1, provided your I2 is equal to 0. Or Z21 is equal to E2 by I1. So like that, we can write the formulas and we can find the networks like this. Okay. So what happened when I2 is equal to 0? I2 is equal to 0 means it's an open circuit. So I1 is equal to 0. So here it is an open circuit, or E2 is equal to 0 or V2 is equal to 0. So like that, your Y parameters and the Z parameters, we have to follow this type of the methodology. So Y11 is equal to Y22. Okay, we can write the equations to these particular networks. Okay, always if you want to find the Z parameters, means you have to rewrite the equation. Your Z11 is equal to V1, your V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. Your V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. That is a standard equation that you have to apply. So similarly for Y equations, I1 is equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2. So similarly I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. So like that, you have to develop for any given network, for any given circuit, you have to develop the equations. Otherwise, standard formulas, you can remember what is Y11. what is Z11. So like that you have to apply. In order to find Y11, it is a short circuit parameters. You have to short at one side. In order to find Z parameters, you have to open on one side. So like that, all this, okay, like that you have to find all these factors. And for any given network, you can write the equations. You can develop the equations. Like that, you can find your Z and Y parameters for any of such networks, whether it is dependent or independent networks. You can develop the equations like this. Okay, anyhow, network synthesis is not there in your syllabus. The next classes, we can see the filters. Okay, for this type of network, find Y22 and Y21. What is Y22 and what is Y21? Just apply the formulas and get the relations. Okay, for any complicated circuit, the formula is same. If you want to find out your Z11, it should be V1 by I1. You have to open on the secondary side because I2 is equal to 0. So like that, for any complicated networks, we can find out the parameters of Z, Y, and H and G. Open circuit parameters, short circuit parameters, hybrid parameters, and inverse hybrid parameters. Okay. And of course, in the future, we'll solve more number of problems based upon this. Next topic is network functions is not there in your E&I syllabus. Tomorrow we'll go to the filters. Okay. After that, we can revise any pending topics. After that, 1 or 2 classes will solve the problems and we can conclude your network theory. Maybe by this weekend, Friday or Saturday, I will conclude your network theory. Okay. So after that, the next another topic is going to start. Okay, if you have any doubts and issues related to, okay, let me close this recording. And every day you please remind me to record this session. Sometimes I may forgetting. So you please remind